Good evening, everyone. Here we are at miracle number 7 from Miracles and Mysteries. I hope that you have subscribed to my YouTube channel and are enjoying these great songs. This last miracle is extremely powerful. It not only shows us what Jesus can do, raising someone from the dead, but it also shows us his heart and his emotions. The guys were just asking me, what's this miracle about, my tech crew, and so I shared in microcosm the story of what happens here. So Lazarus is sick, and they're waiting for Jesus to come and heal him. He's on the road teaching, and he doesn't get there in time, and Lazarus dies. 4 days later, Jesus arrives, and the ladies are very upset. Jesus, if you had just been here, my brother would not have died. Lazarus is a very close friend of Jesus, and so he's weeping as well. He's very sad. Another part of his psyche, his being, knows that he can take care of this situation. And so literally he goes to the tomb of Lazarus, who's been buried now for 4 days and probably smells horribly. And he cries out to Lazarus to come forth. And Lazarus comes out of the tomb and hugs Jesus. And there's great emotion in the moment. Jesus weeping over his friend's death and the pain that the people around him are feeling is something that's not everywhere else in Scripture when we hear about Jesus. This song, as the last miracle on the disc, the last miracle of Miracles and Mysteries, is a very interesting orchestra piece. It has a kind of Celtic feel about the way it has been written. Bruce even adds in the percussion section a bodhran, which is a special ethnic drum that you thump, and it makes a real hollow kind of haunting sound. And in the song, we hear the voice of Jesus, we hear a narrator, and we hear the ladies crying out to Jesus, if you had just been here, Lord, my brother would not have died. And you hear the pain and anguish in that. And the song ends with a cry by the narrator to live in the moment with Jesus, knowing that if necessary, he can bring anything that's dead to life. In fact, indeed, he himself comes back to life because he's God. He is omnipresent and omnipotent. And the orchestral part of it is this moving, wonderful, not like a dance, but this Celtic accompaniment that gives life to the text in a really wonderful way. I want to tell you a story as we close with this miracle song and the Informance about a time when I did, my wife and I performed the songs with track, and Cynthia, when we do that, she memorizes all the violin parts and plays them live, and we do the interludes, which now you've heard live, and the chant and all that. And we did them in a very traditional space, a lot like Moody Church here, where we've been for all of this and for the performance that you've been watching. And afterwards, the pastor asked if anybody had any response, and this woman stood up in the back, and it was a very wealthy congregation where you would expect that the kind of music Miracles and Mysteries is, they might not enjoy the style of it. The total opposite happened. The audience loved it and saw the truth in it in a new way. At any rate, as I said, this woman stood up in the back, and she'd experienced death in her family, and she said, I really believe that you have come here today just for me, and now I feel absolutely sure that Christ can meet me in this moment of death with my family relative and bring new life. It was powerful, more powerful than the songs probably. There wasn't a dry eye in the room when she shared that. It was a really good thing. So my hope and prayer for you as we come to the end of Lent, and Holy Week is right around the corner, that these songs and the miracle hymn epilogue that you'll hear next week finishes out these informances, that your life has been touched in a miraculous way. And that when you see things not so clearly, you'll remember that God is a God of mysteries, but he's also a God of hope, and he can bring life where there is only death. God bless you.
Jesus said, Martha, if you had been here, my brother would not now be dead. And thus rings the question that down all the ages has troubled our hearts and our heads. There's no easy answer, there is no solution, no matter how hard we may try. If God is all goodness and God is all power, then why do the wrong people die? We understand well how the old and infirmed, whose life had been lengthy and blessed, deserve to be brought to their final reward, their place of contentment and rest. But what of the young in the prime of their lives, who are taken by death's angry hand? Oh God, we've been taught that you reign over all, and yet this we do not understand. Dear Martha, said Jesus, now open the grave, for this is a miracle day. But Lord, it's too late, for the dying's been done, and the body's begun to decay. But Martha obeyed and could scarcely believe it when Lazarus walked from the tomb. A sign of the promise, a hint of the future, the great resurrection to come. But some of us Marthas must live our long lives with the memories of loss and of grief. And we rail against fate for whatever it is, and there is no release or relief. Oh God, who will open all graves in your time, we doubt you and question you still. Let faith now embrace what we can't understand, the good of your way and your will. Let faith now embrace what we can't understand, the good of your way and your will.